The owner of ugvr just had a Q&A, and he leaked so many things, such as the things on screen right now. And he leaked so much more about how to defeat a brand new cow boss, where you literally have to shoot apples inside of the big cow's mouth, and when you feed him 8 apples, he will basically explode a bunch of loot in front of...
What are you doing? No, don't leave. No.
What?
What are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
What are you doing?
I'm recording a video. Why is there someone in this code?
I'm just gonna go see if the eggs are. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you.
Okay, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, But yeah, he also introduced a brand new Balrog dragon and so many more things. So before you get into the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get right into today's video.
So the first question is from Devmon. Will more depth be added to the combat in the game? Because currently the best way to fight is just spam the ranged weapons, which kind of gets old. They asked, I know some dinos are getting abilities, but are they going to be strong enough to make people actually want to use their dinos in combat?
Yeah, great question. The short answer is absolutely that's what we want to do. Also, it's what we intended from the beginning. When I go in, there is often, it seems like a mix because not everybody can get ranged weapons all the time. So the idea was this ranged weapon should help you, but I do agree that they're a little bit nerfed. Or needed a nerf, just a little bit, or the dinos need a little bit of a buff. And the way we've always kind of assumed that would eventually happen is we do have dino training coming, dino abilities. So for example, the Dilophosaurus right now, a lot of people wanted it to spit acid, spitting, like the Magmadon spitting fireballs, the Dilophosaurus spitting acid, the Ankylosaurus doing tail whip attacks, the Torque-Nash doing a tail whip attack. These types of things are intended to be added through dino training, which our hope is to come next year, not next year, end of this year. So that definitely is on the docket. Also I think I saw a question that we'll be asking later, but that might touch on this as well. But we've got all the stats now for all the dinosaurs, and we are going to be balancing them to make sure there's no really big, like the crappy dinosaurs are going to get buffed. The OP ones might get a little nerfed, not in the ways that they're the best. So the fast dinosaurs are going to stay fast, but the ones that maybe are slower are going to have better health, better attack stats. And so there will be some balancing that's going to be happening. It's all part of this early access. We're putting in a lot of systems and trying to figure out what works best, what you guys like. We're trying to, balance our boss encounters and everything, and it's for a very small team of less than 10 devs and artists, it is quite the task to keep a live service game updated weekly and balance everything. And so something we're super important to us. So I'm glad you had that. That's a good question. So yeah, anything else on that you want to add, or should we just go to the next question?
No, that's pretty good. So Godzilla asked, will you guys improve the leveling system to be more rewarding? Because right now, at least for damage, getting your dino to max level doesn't really change its damage much at all.
Yeah, that's part of the balancing that we're going to do. I do want to have just at this, so it's meant to be kind of the early leveling is more substantial, and over time it's kind of tapers off, but it's not supposed to completely stop. And so that is one of the things that I'm asking the devs to implement, and that should be coming sooner than later. In addition to that, we have something that we've alluded to. I don't want to necessarily connect the dots at this very moment, but there will be a system in place. You could probably guess it, that'll come. That'll make having your max level dino very valuable. So that was more the long-term intent, is that getting it to the max allows it to unlock something else, I'll say. So pretty excited about that, but yeah, we'll have more details on that later. So sure.
Next
answer,
question.
yes.
Vexor, can you add pets other than dinosaurs, such as wolves, saber-toothed tigers, and other creatures from the Jurassic or Ice Age era?
Yeah, I'd love. So I think I've mentioned this in previous Q&As and stuff or somewhere, but my first job was actually out of college, anyways, was working on Ice Age 4. So I've always had this idea of having a massive Ice Age map or update or something that's really substantial. Obviously we have the Mammothor in there, but proper Ice Age type creatures and stuff. And so that's always in the back of my mind to have those. Obviously we already have, like I said, the Mammothor. We have the little pouchy saber-tooth, and we do have an idea to add a small dog to the hut, similar to a little Triceratops. A little dog that has that goes out and collects bones for you, and then a cat as well, like saber-toothed cat in your hut. Those are more going to be like utility and kind of like one-offs, not as like interactive and training type dinos. So I think it would come with more like a long-term, maybe next year, Ice Age like overhaul update, which has always been something like we wanted to do. Just what that looks like, I'm not totally sure of. But in the short term, Dino Dogs and Dino Cats should be coming to your huts pretty soon.
Can't wait for that. Also, those little plushy things are so adorable. All right, next question from Tempting Madness. Will there ever be a PC port or version, and if so, will it have crossplay?
Yeah, this is something we're looking into now. We have one of our devs, we don't have a ton of time, but one of our devs is already got a Steam version working of the game, technically. And the hard part is managing both, so launching on both systems and everything. So we might scale up the team to be able to handle that. We're trying to see how much of a lift it's going to be. And also just literally the nature of doing weekly updates makes it really hard to manage both platforms. That said, we would more likely than not probably make it its own isolated servers and everything. So if you did have an account through Meta, you probably would have to have a separate account through Steam, unfortunately. We're hoping to more introduce new players through that who don't have access to a Meta headset, but we're really mostly looking into the Steam frame that'll be coming out, because we think that's hopefully going to do well enough to justify all the time it takes to build that out. And then if we build that, the next step would be proper Steam VR as well. But both of those, one runs on Windows and the other on Android, and so it just means probably we'd have to like hire someone to just take care of and manage that every single day to quality, like to do all the debugging and everything. And it's just keeping everything up and running is quite complicated. So would love to do it. I totally get why. And if and when we have enough like devs to dedicate time to it, we'll for sure be doing that. But Steam Frame, I would say, is more likely than not at this point.
Alrighty, next question from Godzilla. How long did you guys work on the game before launch? Also, how many devs did you have before launch?
Yeah, great question. So let's see. I mean, we've been working for a while, and our entire team at Continuum has been anywhere from like 2 people, like me and Biscuit, up to, I think we've been up to like 18 or so. And that was when we were working on a lot of commercial projects, multiple games at the same time. I was jumping from project to project to project, and that was not working really well, just because I was always scattered and never able to get my full time and dedication. So the studio was still operating as like a commercial studio, doing stuff like for like companies like Mountain Dew, Pepsi, and like Maverick, and these kind of like bigger commercial projects, making games for them for mobile stuff and VR, while also running Monkey Dew, Cactus Jam. We built a game called Prom Party, so we had a pretty big team. But then finally, it was me and one of our devs who had really helped us, like when we were helping out with Sale, and pretty much had been running Monkey Dew for a while. Me and him started kind of grinding and just deciding like what worked and what didn't with mounting dinos and raising dinos and everything. So it was just 2 of us, and him and I started working like full time on the project about 16 months ago, and then until about a year ago, it was just him and I. Biscuit was helping with like ideation and stuff, and the Yeeps team that we mentioned, Trash Games, they were also really helping a lot with just like ideation and stuff, because I was just coming up with like all the systems and everything. So they were helping, but just like meeting with them once a week. So the 2 of us were working, me and the 1 developer, and then we brought on 2 more developers, and then 1 artist full time, and then 2 artists. So it was really like six of us, 6 or 7 of it. Oh, great. 6.5 of us that got it to launch. I know, guys. I'm sorry. Chat's gonna go nuts now. I was unintentional, but that got it to at least to I guess not to the official launch, but when we were doing our limited release, when it was like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but before we would shut down the servers for most of the time and open it up 2 or 3 times a week. At that point, when we were opening it up, we did have 1 additional dev, and so right now we've got 3 devs, somebody who helps us with like bug debugging and quality assurance, myself, so 3 devs, debugger, myself. We got Tara and Yum Yum on community. We've got 2 artists full time, and we've got customer service. So full time is 10 of us. Biscuit, he's like more like on business and marketing and partnerships and everything. So he and I meet with like Meta and with Trask Games and others every week. But so I would say about 10 of us on the team now. So probably way more details than you need, but it's a lot of work for 10 of us to do between Discord and the platforms and like planning for the future, but also maintaining what we have now. It's a lot, but we've thought about scaling up more, but the reality of it is when we have brought on people to help us out at different phases, it kind of just distracts us from from really just cooking, because I think we've got a pretty good system down to be able to just rinse and repeat for a while, and so we're going to continue to do that as long as we can. It seems like you guys are digging it. It seems like we're doing okay. I know sometimes like the updates maybe seem not as good as others, but we did, release the Flapper encounter pretty soon, and I'm excited to give you more details about the Cow Canyon. And I don't know if we'll have that background music. I do have it pulled up on this other computer. I want to just navigate through it, and I wanted to explain what was happening while it was up, but I don't know if technically I can voice chat here and cast from there. And I should have figured that out before the call, but anyways, I feel like we've got a pretty great roadmap coming up for you guys. Should feel like the game is feeling fresh all the time, and we're really like establishing the systems, and things are getting a lot easier as we go. So yeah, I don't know, anything Yum Yum or Terry you want to add to that about the team and size and cadence and everything? Or
no, that was well said. I think.
Go ahead, Tara. No, you go ahead.
I only came off mute to see if you would say a little bit of something of basically what you already said, because it was a conversation we'd had with a couple people who were asking, and it was hard because it was like, hey, we want to be able to. It's hard to be able to explain every single decision to every single person who sees the game and sees like the small team and says like, well, why it makes sense to just add, obviously it makes sense to it seems obvious to add more devs, and that makes things easier. But we just had a conversation in that kind of publicly facing chat a couple days ago about that, so I'm glad you touched on it.
So do you want me to jump into the next question about the cow maze, even though you could describe it in great detail?
Yeah, I'll answer some questions, and then if I'm going to switch to the other computer and kind of try and show what I was describing. I'll just be quicker, and I won't show it while I'm describing it. But just if you guys don't mind either giving your theories or thoughts, so that it's not just totally quiet. So I will answer first, but yeah, let's go ahead and go into that, and then I'll share my screen after that.
Okay. So someone tried beta was just wondering, is the cow maze going to have a boss which you'll be able to kill and get his egg?
Okay, I can share. I'll just share this, at least this screen, this image, so that people kind of have an idea of what I'll be showing in the actual game project soon. So it will have a boss. It'll feel very similar to the Flaptor sequence, just in how it starts. So anywhere on the map, you'll hear this big cow moo from the boss. This is not intended to be a dinosaur. It's meant to be more of a way to get XP or to get bones. So there's no egg. There's no cow egg. Obviously, there wouldn't be a cow egg. Guys, don't be silly. But this cow is huge. I don't know if you can really grasp the scale, and I'll try and show you as best I can from in-game stuff. But it is huge, and the idea of it is you hear this moo, which means it's woken up. So its head's actually hidden the majority of the time, and its udders are there, and it's making its little milk stuff. And the idea is the milk, instead of healing, it'll give you a really, really slow XP. So the milk has benefits. It's good to be there. There's also going to be regular sized cows everywhere that you can harvest, just like pigs. But every so often, this giant head will emerge. Calling her Betsy, so I don't know if that's her actual name, but that's what we call her as a team. So Betsy will emerge because she's hungry, and you'll see this when I show the screen shots for sure. Above Betsy are these ginormous apples that are hanging from those trees above her, and they're as big as a house, and they'll be sitting there, and they'll fall as you hit them, either with your flying dinosaurs because they're too high, or with ranged weapons or spears or whatever to knock them down. I think you can jump up and hit them if you really time it right, but it'll just take basically one hit to knock them off these vines. And then these house-size apples fall down, and the idea was kind of almost like a Rocket League type experience, where you can come and smash the apples towards Betsy, towards her mouth, and as they get close, Betsy will eat the apples. And once you've fed her like, I think it's like 8 apples right now. Once you feed her the 8 apples, she's full, she's content, she rolls back down, her udders start to like erupt and explode with all these like cheese curds and everything. And it's just like raining XP and loot like crazy. So I think it's really fun when I do it. It probably sounds super stupid. If you guys have played Monkey Do on any of our other titles or even UG, you kind of know that we have like a little bit of a like out there mindset, but really hoping people enjoy it. It's meant to feel like totally different. Knocking around these giant apples and watching him roll towards Betsy. It's really fun and meant to just be like way more chill. You're not going to be getting attacked by little mini flaptors or anything like that. You're just going to be having fun with your friends, kind of basically playing soccer. Maybe you could even have somebody like trying to keep it away. You guys can play however you'd like. But the idea is eventually, if you feed Betsy enough, she'll give you a whole bunch of great loot. So yeah, I'm gonna jump to the other computer and try and share at least like the scene so you can see. I'll plop down like a Nubasaur and then I'll scale it up so you can see how big it is at like level 5. But when I do that, I'm not gonna be able to talk. So Tara and Yum Yum, it'll be up to you guys to chat about what I'm sharing. So let me get it pulled up. While you guys talk about your thoughts and reactions to Cow Canyon.
Sounds good.
It's way grosser than it sounds, everyone. Don't worry.
I like the idea of the apples. I don't know. I still have trouble like visualizing this even though I've seen it, but I think it's gonna be great.
I do like the Rocket League kind of concept. I know we've talked about that, especially with the devs, like that it'd be really hard, but it would be fun to do some kind of like dinosaur. Okay, good to know. Looks like Predominant can't hear us either. That's okay. It'd be cool to do some kind of like dinosaur sports, something like that. It'd be a blast.
I think everyone's super stoked for the swimming stuff too. That's all I hear about. Oh, good, we've got visual.
Woohoo! Oh, what if you can swim in the milk? Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, I've never seen like this dev view of us before.
Going under the ground.
Yeah.
Go under the cow. Oh, he missed the udders. You go under the udders. It's not that cool. These are the cool udders.
Oh wow, those apples are huge.
Yeah, when he said house-size apples,
wow.
They're massive.
Wait, so how do you get them down?
I don't remember. We'll have to ask him when he comes back.
Oh, the cows. The little cows.
The big cow is cool.
It looks kind of scary. Its horns look kind of wooden.
Yeah, and with how it looks, so someone had asked, this is probably a good time to bring it up. Someone had, let's see, Lemony Dude asked, why did you change the name of the cow map from Milk Meadows? Because if it was more of like a I think that's my favorite name also, and that's the one that got the most votes on the poll. But it's just not like a meadow-looking area. Oh, look at that. It's not very meadowy. Like the whole map is more canyonous, and so it's like Cow Canyon. Makes more sense, but we have Mike talk about it also. And
there's like a maze in there too, isn't there? Like right this part?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to even get to it or past it. Oh god, I would get so lost in there. Been around 3 times, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
Or you might be able to fly in, I guess, with the flying dino.
I don't think you can fly like up and over. I think you'll have to fly through.
Yeah, I'll definitely get lost.
That's the best.
That's crazy.
I was really hoping for the maze to like change while you're in it. That would be so fun. Where are we going? Oh, is he going to show off the new? Oh, this is cool. The expanded.
Yay! Crater Cave. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. It's a beautiful journey. Oh, he's showing it.
AURASAUR. Oh my god.
Oh, he showed it really quick.
Oh, it looks so good. I love even the statue of the cow going into it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, I couldn't even hear you guys. What did I show?
Nothing. I mean, you didn't show it. All that. Just a quick glimpse. Oh, that was so cool to see.
Okay, I wish I could have been talking or even hearing you guys doing it. So I have no idea what you guys thought. I need to set up my other system to have audio stuff, but fun to walk you guys through it real quick, and hopefully your imagination and YouTube can take that wherever you guys want.
Make up as much as you can. Go.
Yeah. Theories and misinformation, go.
Yeah. There were a couple questions about the map that we didn't have the answers to. One of them was, could you fly over it, or are you supposed to like just be able to fly through it?
Yeah, so we designed it, hopefully you saw, like, we intentionally designed it so you can fly over it. But the whole idea is like you kind of got this. I went through the main path, and it's pretty obvious because there's like a darker green grass that like, so you won't get lost if you just like find that green path and kind of go around. It'll be really easy. But besides that main path, there's like branches that go everywhere, so you really could get lost outside of that path. And that's in those paths is where the Alpha T-Rex will be. You saw the where the alpha Grugadon will spawn. I showed you that, but the alpha T-Rexes will randomly spawn in that kind of network of canyons, and so that people couldn't just like go up on a flap tour or whatever, or swoop jaw, and just like look down and see it right away. We created it like the I used to live pretty close to the slot canyons, that like you can't actually see down because they're just like so we kind of designed it like that, so you can't ever really look down the canyons and see stuff. So you could fly up there, but you'll still have to like fly up there then look down because those canyons are quite huge, like the Narrows in Zion and some of those if you've been to like those national parks and everything. So yeah, feel free to fly up there, but it's probably best to just go with either a fast dino or a flying dino around to find the alpha, and then once you find it, you're probably gonna need to like tell everybody where it's at and then try and go kill it, because if you get there alone with like just your fast dino, it might be pretty hard. It's gonna be a tougher alpha, still gonna act like an alpha, but its stats are gonna be kind of hard to take on with a swoop jaw. So you want either like some sort of weapon with you or something else, or some friends to take it out once you do find it in that network. So yeah, it should be really fun. As far as the cow interaction, you could certainly fly there, and it'll be a lot easier on a flying dino to knock down those giant apples. Oh, I forgot to put a new sword down so you can see it. But you saw those like little cows. Those little cows are pretty big, like compared to like they're a lot bigger than pigs. They're like normal sized cows. And so those were compared to the Betsy, like hopefully that gave you some scale and everything. What other questions came up, or did you guys have? I know that maybe you guys hadn't seen that was from a build from last night from our developer in Australia, so some new stuff in there.
There's a couple for the AURASAUR, like how you get it, like what the plan is for that. If we
we can talk about that for sure. Is that one of the official questions from somebody, or should I just get into the AURASAUR a bit?
No, but I think that was just one in the chat just asking about.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I'm super excited about it. So the idea is going to be we're going to make a community challenge that we are hoping like takes about a month normally to complete. Things like simple things, probably like kill chickens or hatch eggs or defeat the Magmadon, things like that. That'll be like do that 10,000 times or whatever it is. And again, we're going to kind of make it so that hopefully it more or less takes the community about a month. We're hoping to get an AURASAUR once a month, give or take. There are going to be 20 variants of it, so the mama will be like the colors of the design. We are taking some liberties, but I can show you. We saw it for just a very brief moment, and this is very much a work in progress. But we're doing some testing with like the shader on the fins to kind of give it that really cool aura look. So I'm pretty excited about this. If you are looking, the purple color is completely temporary. I think it just pulled directly from like another shader. But this was a test our developers were doing or our artists were doing on the cool for whatever. So don't have the variants built for it, don't have the proper textures built for it or anything, but this is what it's going to look like. So anyways, stop sharing that. The idea is going to be that once per month you'll kill the 100,000 chickens or whatever, and it's going to be sleeping. There's going to be a mama AURASAUR in that cave that you saw, so it was standing up, but really it'll be sleeping. In front of it's going to be an egg, just like the Nubasaur egg claiming station, but instead of being for new players, it will be for the community once it happens. So once the community hits the benchmark, there'll be 3 days that at any time in those 3 days you can go in, no matter who you are, and claim one of the eggs. And so make sure once the Discord says, hey, we got it, make sure you go play at least once and grab that egg. It'll be the only time until you achieve it again. So claim the egg in those 3 days. AURASAUR goes back to sleep. New challenge appears behind it, and then you'll go at it again. And again, it'll probably take about a month for everyone to get it, eggs or chickens or Magmadons or whatever it is, before you can get another one. So should make it pretty rare because you'll only be able to claim one a month. I think often when we put an egg in the egg shop or have even like flaptors, people are already like on their 5th and 6th flaptors at this point because they've just been grinding. But the AURASAUR is not one you're gonna be able to grind, not one you're gonna be able to buy completely free, but also quite rare. So it'll take hypothetically at least 20 months for you to get a full set of AURASAURs if we make the challenges right. Obviously, we won't make it exactly right. Sometimes we'll probably make challenges that are a little bit harder, and sometimes we'll make them, a little bit easier. So more or less, though, we'll try and make it once a month. So yeah, anything I'm missing with that, guys? Or should we move on to the next question?
No, I think they'll surprise us. I think we'll say a month. I think they'll do it in like a week. So I don't know. Community, we tend to underestimate them.
Well, I looked at so we're doing this because we were going to do this next week because that's what we thought we were going to hit 250. So we're going to do the Q&A next week. We're going to have the buy one get one next week, and all this stuff next week because we thought that's when we we're going to hit 250,000 reviews. And then you guys like not only already passed it, but I looked this morning. It's like 254,000 reviews. So we got like 4,000 more reviews just since like yesterday. You guys are insane, man. This is awesome. I love this community, and it just like continues to grow so fast. And so thank you everybody for doing that. So you're probably spot on. We'll be like, all right, it's going to take a month, and then like 5 minutes later, you guys are like, yeah, we're done. But no, we'll make it hard. We want to make it challenging, and we're not going to have like a leaderboard in game. We're trying to see if we can have one maybe on the Discord, but we don't want to like drive competition or make people feel like they're not contributing. But you will see how many, like how much you've contributed. So you'll see a tracker that says, you've killed 500 chickens or whatever. So at the very least, you can take screenshots and brag to your friends about how much you contributed, and then we might have a leaderboard here. But I just don't want to make people in game feel like, dude, that guy did 10,000 chickens and I've done like 30, and I feel like I've been grinding forever. So intentionally, UG is meant to be much more collaborative and team based, and so that's why there won't be a leaderboard. But other than that, should be pretty fun. We're really excited about it, so it's coming along pretty good. We're finishing just that whole sequence I explained of like when you can claim it and when it resets and everything. But other than that, things are ready to rock. So you'll learn more here on Thursday.
All right, let's move on to the next question then. Sean the Galaxy asks, will the flap door go away?
Yes, we will be rotating the maps, just like the Crydon. Flap door will not be here for forever. The plan currently, let me look at the schedule. The plan is for it to be here, I believe, until, wow, it's going away soon, guys, sorry. Sooner than I thought. March 12th, it will be going away. So will the Magmadon. Magmadon and Flapdoor will be going away, but don't worry, we'll be introducing the new flying titan inside of the volcano that I'm very excited about. Probably going to be calling it the ball rug. But
for copyright, for legal reasons.
Yes.
Slightly different.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
All right, so next question from Milky Way. Will there be different types of mini games other than just Stonehenge?
Yes, there will. I don't want to spoil too much because we like keeping that more secretive. Stonehenge is kind of like our fun secret to spring on you guys, and there's some things that'll be coming up that hopefully will be surprising. But February 26th, Stonehenge 2.0 will be launching with new mini games. Yeah, I don't want to get too many details. Obviously, you'll figure it out pretty quick. But I like keeping that more of a mystery. So, but yes, there will be more mini games coming, and more after that as well too. So, should be fun.
Sweet. And Death Gaming asks, what will PvP be like? UG versus UG, or dinosaur versus dinosaur, or even both? Okay,
I've got to be like totally real with you guys right now because this is something that occupies my mind all the time. Since day one, PvP has been like something I've wanted to do, and for sure seems like so much fun. That said, the collaboration and like the community component of UG, I think is like 90% of what makes it so great is working together with your friends, and the fact that you guys, for the most part, are not toxic. Like I think we've done a better job of getting rid of like people who are scamming or duping or trying to like mess people up through trades, like all that like we're not done fixing that, but we're over time like really getting rid of that. So my concern isn't PvP would be awesome, would be fun. It's, does that now introduce into our game something that's like opposite of what we've been trying to build and what has been so great about the game? So I'm like doing like a reevaluation of whether it's going to come. Now that said, we're still planning on it, and since the beginning, it's oh my gosh, your emus are like doing an awesome dance right now. I don't know if you guys are watching the emus; they're way more interesting than me. But anyways, sorry, I got distracted there for a sec. PvP is still like on our roadmap, still part of our plan, and it's always been the idea that you leave Ugtopia, like leave the watering hole to go on PvP. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, you just don't have to go there. Like if you don't want to be, like fight others, and you don't want to have like this competition now, then you just stay in Ugtopia and do all the same stuff that you're doing. And so part of me is like, okay, you know, it's fine because you opt into it. So I'm still leaning towards having it, but I just wanted to throw that out there so that you guys could maybe think about it. I'd love to get your input, like if like even I watched like way more of the YouTube videos than I probably should. So please do like give your suggestions in your videos because I probably hear more of them than you realize. Like anytime I'm driving and stuff, I've got like on double speed watching videos left and right. But also just in the chat and in game, just like, is that something you want? Do you want to fight your friends? In my opinion, yes, it sounds so fun. And the idea would be, so to actually answer your question, you basically, you'd have your tribe that you've either like joined previously or you join like when you're gonna go play. And so you get assigned a team or pick a team, and it would be 4 Ugs versus 4 Ugs. Everyone would have all their equipment, all the equipment unlocked, so all weapons would be available to everybody and all armor. So that's not going to be like paywalled or anything. However, you do only get to pick one of your dinosaurs. And so everybody picks one of their dinosaurs, and everyone heads in. And just like a normal battle, basically it's like the last Ugg standing. So all the dinosaurs could die, all of your teammates could die. But if you're an Ugg and you got a Gatling gun and you kill the very last Ugg on the other team, then you win. So you don't lose once your dinosaur dies, but obviously there's no revive. So once your dinosaur dies, he's gone. And my thought has always been how cool it would be to just like have different strategies. You know, you have like the flying dino that's up there pestering everybody, that's like dropping like bombs on it, which we do have weapons coming, like that would make this fun. But you only have a limited amount of those things that you can drop. And obviously flying dinosaurs are pretty like worthless once they're going to be in hand-to-hand combat because they're so squishy and everything. But maybe you have the right armor for it. So there's just be all these different ways to like develop your strategies and the metas, and then we have proper leaderboards. I think if we're going to do it, we have to have like proper skill-based matchmaking and everything, unless you opt to fight each other. So you either choose to fight somebody, or when we matchmake, we make sure it's like similar skill sets. So considering dino power, as well as we'd probably have like a PvP power level based on how many wins you've had and everything, and that will place you with who you fight. So if that to you guys, like it does to me, sounds like the funnest thing ever, we're still planning on it, still working on it. I'm just doing like a really like a big reevaluation with myself and the team to like, if we introduce PvP into UG, are we kind of like stripping away part of what makes it so great? And so I just want to throw that out there, not as like a, oh no, like Murdominate confirmed, no more PvP. That is definitely not what I'm saying. 100% just saying we're thinking about what the implications are of that. So yeah, again, I didn't say this as much as I did last time. Everything I'm saying about like future stuff is very subject to change. So dates, ideas, names, like we're literally changing those things like 5 days before launch sometimes, and even like night of launch. And as you guys have seen after launch sometimes too, like we're still figuring things out and balancing things as we go and learning as we go with you guys. So thank you for your patience. I'm sorry sometimes when those changes like really affect you and you really prefer the other thing. One thing that I've learned very quickly is with, you know, we're at 1.3 million players last I checked. With that many people, it doesn't matter what decision you make and how good it is. Some people are going to be ticked with you every decision you made. But hopefully the vast majority of people are liking it, and that seems to be where people are at. So yeah. All right, it's a very long-winded answer. Let's continue on. What's the next question?
Noah VR says, do you get rewards for each day you play on the streak stack?
Not yet. I do think that there should be some sort of reward system eventually. We just wanted, we've been tracking it. Like, I don't know if you guys even knew this, but like the numbers of your login streak was on the back of your daily challenges board. So it's been there. We just wanted to have it be like a much cooler flex because we were seeing that people were getting at like, I think they're the highest right now is, I think it's 118, which has me beat. Mostly because I log on to different accounts every time. So technically I've like played the game every day, I think for well over 300 days. But you know, that said, we're impressed with the fact that somebody's already at like 150 day login streak. So eventually probably yes, you know, each system is really like, I think super fair and good, but we just wanted to get something out there sooner than later, so we got the streak stack going.
All right, this one I'm curious about. I don't know where this rumor came from or if it's a rumor, but Goody says, is it true that there's going to be a Megalodon plushie?
Okay, so I made that poll about which plushie you guys want. This is going to probably drop now and isn't confirmed, so take it with a grain of salt. But I'll tell you what the plushie is going to be. We are working with a third-party vendor to create merch in a proper store and a really cool plushie with like really awesome like it's going to come in an egg and going to be different skins and stuff as a plan. So I made that poll because I was like, hey, I just wanted to get a feel for like, do people want the most recent dinosaurs, like the classic dinosaurs, like what was it? And it was pretty obvious that it was helpful to find out what it was. And then when I saw that the Magmadon was like the number one, I was like, oh crap. And I went to the vendor, I was like, do we like the Magmadon has like these rocks on it, it'd be like really hard. And they're like, oh yeah, we couldn't make the Magmadon, like that's not easy to manufacture at all. And I'm like, shoot, I shouldn't have put it on there. I didn't think it was going to be your guys' favorite. And I also hadn't I knew it wouldn't work, but I hadn't considered the implications if you guys picked it as your favorite of what would happen. So sometimes I'll ask you guys polls and I intentionally put one of the questions as like not what I'm even considering, and the polls aren't meant to be like whichever one wins is what we're doing. It's more just like to really help me, and I really appreciate it. So if Blue Shell or myself puts a poll out there and you guys respond to it, it actually is really helpful. So I know like jokingly I sometimes put like, oh, this game is buns, I'm never coming back, as like a response, and that's fine, have some fun. But I really do take those polls into consideration as we're designing the game and making choices. And so anyways, probably not a Magmadon, at least not yet to start off with. But I think it's going to be a Carnotaurus, like a Carnotaurus. It's the one that's like, it's got like the little tiny horns. It kind of looks like a T-Rex, definitely like more of a hunter type creature, one of the bigger ones. So if you know what Carnotaurus is, look it up, but or I can maybe pull it up.
They have that in ARC. Carnos.
Yeah, Carnotaurus, and we call it like the Carno bundle. But I'll show you guys really quick, and then you can move on to the next question after that, unless there's a follow-up to it. This guy, this isn't how it's going to look in the game necessarily, but we have our designer working on it actually this weekend to figure out the UG version of it, and then we're going to send that off, and we're going to manufacture it for us, and it should be pretty cool. And the idea is like, I'm not exactly sure 100% how it'll all work.
Oh,
okay, so it's not just on my end. He's gone.
No, he rage quit.
Dang.
That's a bummer. All right, just kidding.
Out of here. I give up. Sorry. Yeah, I hit the wrong button to stop my stream. Anyways, with the Carnotaurus, what was I saying? Oh, we're gonna send it off to them. They're gonna manufacture it, and with the in-game like tie, the idea is that we'll have obviously like the normal bundle that you can just get. But in addition to that, you can get like, if you've bought the plushie, then you'll get some sort of similar bundle redemption process that you can do. I think it's usually done through the app. So if you've done it with other games, it'll be very similar. They've done it with other games. I don't think I can say which ones, but games you've likely played and gone through that process of buying it in real life and then being able to claim it in game. So it'll be the same thing. But yeah, really, really excited about that. I'm super excited just for myself. Like I got this shirt. That's about it. I wore it today for you guys. But I don't even have swag yet. So the stuff that you guys are making is awesome. Like I've ordered some of it, or I've reached out to some of you to be like, hey, I want to buy this from you. But we sadly don't have swag yet. We're working on it though, I promise.
Alrighty. I know that Yum Yum has some questions too. So maybe I'll just ask one more and then get him going with those ones. Odie asks, will you guys add a training center for the dinosaurs so that they learn how to give handshakes and sit down and roll, etc.? Yeah,
so I kind of covered that just a little bit earlier, and I've covered it in past chats. Training's definitely coming. As far as those specifically go, the idea is, yeah, you can train your dino to do basic things that any dino can do. So fetch, roll over, sit, those types of things. And doesn't matter the dino, you can do those things. But then there'll be dino-specific training, like the Dilophosaurus will be able to there'll be like a spit projectile. So like the Cryodon, Dilophosaurus, Magmadon, they'd spit. The Magmadon would spit fire, Dilophosaurus would spit acid, Cryodon would spit like ice, and things like that. But those, you can't train any dinosaur to spit acid, but you can train any dino to fetch. So totally yes, and really excited about that. It's just gonna take a long time to get that in place. That might even be like after we've come out of early access, or like next really big update. So big updates as far as I'm concerned are we're going to continue to do cool things like reskin the volcano map and have a new boss battle. Like those will be fun and big, but the water update's going to be huge. Properly getting out of early access and having our official launch, and then to me training would probably be next after that, and then and then hopefully PvP will be the next big one. So all takes a lot of time, and we all also want to make sure we're still doing the things that make UG so fun and so great, like giving you new ways to battle and spend time with friends and grind in a way that's like unique and interesting and different. So yeah. Anyway, sorry I'm so long-winded. We can't get through all these questions, but I love talking about this stuff. So, and fun that we have so many people here listening. So, Tara, thanks for reading all those questions. I think, maybe did you have something, or sorry, you had something to say?
Yeah, I think that's good to go into more detail instead of just answering a lot of the same questions each time, right? And just surface level. I think it's fun to dive deeper into the nitty gritty.
Perfect.
I've been trying to prioritize the ones on my list. There were some pretty cool ones. One of them was like, will tribes have significance in the game in the future? That was Beanie Quad.
Yeah, so tribes, I actually touched on a little bit. The idea for tribes would be that you fight with your tribes, and tribes would have different PvP standings and everything, and they'd be limited number of who you could like tribe up with and everything. So you'd have like probably like a whole ecosystem of people like trying out for it, applying for it, and all these things. Like, we'd love to facilitate that and make that like a proper, like, substantial part of UG, and it's like maybe its own thing entirely. Also, there's just like the community aspect of it too, where like you would just default join your tribes if any of them are playing, more or less. And so I don't know if in Utopia we don't currently have anything other than just like the community side of things, auto lobbying up, like default joining or whatever. But it could be fun with like the community events to reward those tribes that contributed the most to the community challenges. So maybe the community, like the top tribes that contributed to the next AURASAUR unlock, maybe they get 2 eggs or something like that, or some other perk. I'm not sure what it would be, but that's one of the ways that I've like kind of thought of how they could contribute. But long-term PvP would be the main way.
And did you talk about other items or holdable cosmetics? Someone, let's see, Maddie asked about that.
Yes, it is something that's like important to us for sure. We're trying to get a better like layout of like, we have a lot of equipment we haven't introduced yet, and weapons like still. So those in between all those bigger updates like water updates and everything, like that tech tree needs to grow quite a bit more to hit everything. And so even though I know like they're holdable equipment, not holdable cosmetics, we want to prioritize getting those into the game first before we circle back and expand the cosmetic system, because as important as those things are, we feel like it'd be better to have, an axe in the game than it would be to like have a like something that looks like something cool on your arm or whatever. So it is part of the plan, but further down the road.
But I did have to ask one from Baker's Dozen asking about the backyard concept, showing like all the little dinos in the kind of pen or fenced area.
Yeah, I love that. That was early days. That was when it was just we were just. So I did say me and one other dev were working on it for a while, but during that time we were pulling our artists off of these other projects to part-time come up with that concept art that we had. And that was like one of the first things. Like I was like, oh, you'll lobby in, or you'll come in, and I want you to have like your top 3 dinosaurs like out there on your yard as soon as you come in. So it wasn't meant to just be your hut. It was meant to be your hut and your like main dinos. And those were supposed to be there the whole time, and that way you could ride your main dinos right from the onset. And basically the way we were thinking it would work is you'd have these like 3 slots similar to the nests, but when you'd place them in those slots, it would make them spawn in your yard. I want to do it yesterday. Like I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but we quickly got into hardware limitations. So we have some things still that we can do to optimize, and we're trying our best to get to that point. Right now, the only reason it's not there is because the headsets just can't handle it. Because if you think about it, even now, there's only 8. We wanted to get it up to 12 UGs per lobby, but there's currently only 8. So ideally, first, before we even add those, we would add 2 more UGs per lobby. And I think that's probably a sweet spot. If you get too much more, then it's really hard to find a lobby that you like jive with and everything. So, but hypothetically, let's say we keep it to 8. If we did keep it to 8, then it would be easier to introduce those. But that's if all 8 have 2 or 3 dinos on their yard, that's 8 times however many dinos it is, and the dinosaurs already are kind of the one of the biggest like performance hits. So there's some ways around that. We can have like simpler versions of the dinosaurs that spawn that maybe don't have all like the saddles and all these other things and the armor and stuff on them. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. but that's why it's not currently there. I love the idea. Great question. Yeah, thanks for asking.
One of our very own mods was asking, and just real quick with the chat, a few people are asking some specific things. There's a lot, especially during Q&As, we're pretty busy, but also like just checking up on other chats. Everyone's pretty busy. There's a lot of people in the server, so just keep that in mind when you're waiting for responses. It might take more than a few minutes sometimes. One of our own mods, Doubled, was asking what caused the V19 glitch, if you want to address that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like I'll let you answer that. I don't want to step on any toes here.
We made a video that we put out today that answers all your questions.
Yeah, just watch the video. Explains everything.
If that's all we want to say about it.
I will say we found out who was behind it, and that dinosaur has now officially been released. So it will forever and for always be the rarest dinosaur, because for the first while there was an insider who was keeping it from us. But watch the video and it explains everything in detail.
Rename those goats the scapegoats and just pin everything.
Those guys, yeah.
Blue Shell was asking about just if UG maps are going to have like different challenges, puzzles, parkour, like which I think you've shown so much in like the flying map being not just like having to fight the dinosaur and different things like that. Yeah,
I think Cow Canyon will be probably the first time that you guys feel like, oh, they're not just like reskinning. Because I think the Flaptor was new. You're totally right. That was something that is was a new system, and we're doing the best we can with what we have. So it was meant to be even more than it is, but it got really close. I'm really proud of the team for where it got to so quickly. And the volcano encounter will be kind of like, it'll feel fresh and new, but different enough. But there are going to be times where it's like the Cryodon and the Crystodon battles will be very similar in the Crystal Cave and the Ice Cave, and we'll rotate between those. The Flying Map battle and the Flying Volcano Map battle, those will feel similar, but we will continue to make very new and very different encounters. Like Magmadon Triceratops were the same, but the Cow Valley will be like unlike anything you've ever experienced. That said, when we bring back Cow Canyon, and when we bring back Pig Valley will now have an element very similar to Cow Canyon. So if you like the encounter in Cow Canyon, you'll still have something in Pig Valley when it returns. So Pig Valley will be same as it was before, but add that component to it. So it should be super fun.
I guess
some images.
The Cow Place is a great example of that coming up. And someone did ask while you were showing stuff off of why we didn't name it Milk Meadows, which I think while you're showing it off, we kind of showed like it's not as like meadowy, it's more canyonous, and that's kind of why we went with it. And you did address that, I guess, earlier about poles and.
Yeah, sorry guys. I know sometimes you're like, oh, we that's the one we want the most. Why didn't they name it that? And it's because Cow Canyon's easier to say. I love Milk Meadows. I loved it actually. I was like all for it, but when it came down to it, we just wanted to focus more on the fact that there's all these canyons back there. So sorry for changing it. I'm showing you guys some fun stuff that I meant to share earlier, but dino tags are coming finally. We've been meaning to do that for a long time. They work just like collars with some boosts in them. So I'm excited about these. Finally not just have the base collar. And then you'll have cow crates, and then some much needed female cosmetics and their feminine cosmetics coming soon. And then these are some of the things that are going to be dropping from cows and Betsy and stuff. So anyways, I forgot that I had those pulled up that I wanted to share with you guys. Any last questions? We're running out of time here, but take one or two more maybe.
Lou Monk was asking if content creator belts will ever be coming back, if we ever do that.
So like if we'll circle back and give out ones that had been given previously. The idea is no, like I'm sure you guys have kind of figured this out, most of you have anyways, but for those who don't know, every content creator belt, we release one every single time we release a bundle. And the idea is that the belt buckle, in one way or another, is meant to complement the bundle itself. So you don't need to have the bundle in order to have the belt be cool. Also, if you have the bundle cosmetics, you don't necessarily have to have the creator cosmetic. But the bundle cosmetics and the creator belts are never intended to cycle back. So once they're gone, they're gone. Like you'll never, after I guess this week, this will be the only week to get the nerdy cosmetics, not the Nedry cosmetics, because we don't want to get sued by Universal. The nerdy cosmetics and that really cool Dilophosaurus belt buckle, if you guys have seen it. you basically got till Thursday to get those, and then they're gone forever. So yeah, if you want those things, get them while you can. Sorry to anyone who's not in the creator program in time to get a belt buckle that looks cool, but our artists are really talented, and we'll continue to make new and unique ones. So I'm sure something will come around once you get to the program to be able to claim them and stuff. So yeah, well, let's do one more question. I know we're at time, but and also, do you guys have? Because I don't know if you
meant going after. So just talk like once you're done. Gotcha. I do have another question, but once you're done, then I can announce the Discord code, and I can at least stay back for. And if you want to leave or whatever, you're welcome to stay.
Yeah. For
a couple kind of content creator related questions I saw that were pretty good.
Perfect. Yeah, let's do one more question for me, and then I'll let you guys at it. I have to be be pretty soon here, actually. So,
Bleary Terror was asking,
best question yet.
Bleary Terror was asking if we'll ever nerf or buff any of the dinos.
Okay. Yes. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I've got now in front of me all the stats, all the number of the dinosaurs. It's been a while to be able to get all of that. I think there's how many dinosaurs? I should just pull it up really quick. Kind of fun. Oh no, I don't have it in front of me anymore. There is close to 30 million dinosaurs out there. And then obviously we've got the actual base level stats. And so all of those, including what you see in the dino decks, will all be adjusted over the next little bit. And again, the intent, now that we have speed in there and we have flying dinosaurs, like it needed a bit of an overhaul. So you'll see tanks, some of the tanks that you're like, oh, these guys have been buns for a while or whatever. Some of the hunters that haven't got love, they'll start to get better attack values, maybe a little bit more speed or whatever, or they'll get bigger, things like that to make them more valuable. It will feel more even. We're not gonna nerf as much as we're probably gonna just buff some of those ones that now that we have a lot of others introduced. Titans will pretty much always be the meta for like just sheer strength and health. But we do want to make sure that like every dinosaur isn't like totally worthless. Obviously there's a cosmetic component of it that's like what I like sometimes care about the most, but from a gameplay mechanic, we at least want to make them all feel like there isn't any that's like total crap. So short answer, yes. And just again, guys, like want to reiterate how much I appreciate everyone here, everyone hopping on. It's been awesome. I hop in the game and play with you guys, and you're always super nice, super grateful. Reviews, like to hit 250,000 reviews in less than 4 months since we launched. I guess tomorrow would be like 4 months on the day. So in 4 months to hit 250,000 reviews, like that. At that rate, like we'll probably like I don't know. There's a chance we cross like 1 million reviews like at some point, which would be insane. In 2 years maybe when we're been around and stuff, and we're gonna try and do everything we can to keep this game like as great as it is. Make you guys keep coming back. Convince your friends to come play it and everything, because we just keep adding stuff. So, but thanks to you guys, creators, you're doing a great job. Beta testers, thank you so much for the guys that are like, especially the ones that are like finding those bugs and helping us and giving us feedback. That has been so valuable to making these releases go smoother. Our devs are really grateful for that, especially, and so excited for the AURASAUR. It's gonna look awesome. Great design, so many designs, guys. Thank you so much. There was nothing funner than going through just everything you submitted, and there were so many good ones. Some of my favorites, to be honest, we couldn't put in the game because like technically there was some things that it would be too hard to explain, but we weren't gonna be able to pull it off. So some of my absolute favorites, I was like, oh, I wish we could do it. And I've got a folder in my inspiration folder that has dozens of your submissions that I will refer back to, and you'll probably see nods to some of the ideas you guys came up with in the game months down the road because of how cool the work was you did. So we're going to do that more frequently. Thank you so much. Everything else, really appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to hop. I got to run. I'm going to be late, but I just really appreciate you guys and really excited about the future. So love these Q&As. Thanks everyone. And thanks Yum Yum and Tara for helping out, and chat with you guys later.
Bye, Dominant.
Bye.
See you guys.
What a guy.